As a child, we all long for a hero. As a society as a whole, we search for that leader that can be our hero. But as we mature and as we grow, it dawned on us that the hero is inside every one of us. And in the world's social media, we all start at zero. And slowly we search deep within ourselves to find who we are. And we have that moment of truth where we embrace that the hero that we've been searching for has been there all along. It is living deep inside of every one of us. And we start embracing that journey and we become that hero that we search for.
Hey, everybody, good morning and welcome to episode 41 of Zero to Hero. Thanks for joining us. Happy you're here. We have another awesome guest. I don't know how we keep getting so lucky, but they keep wanting to come in and talk to us. We've got another one. His name is Dan Smith. He's with the Porterhouse KC. And the Porterhouse KC does a lot with helping entrepreneurs, but specifically underserved entrepreneurs here in Kansas City. So let's go ahead and bring him in, hear the story. Here's Dan Smith. Dan, how you doing, buddy?
I'm doing wonderful. How about yourself, Gino?
Oh, I'm doing good, man. Doing good. So tell us about the Porterhouse KC,
Good.
man. What do you guys do over there?
Yeah, man. We specialize in a specific way. Three specific things. It's one is we do education. We have a small business development program. It's a 15-week program. Really just learning the ins and outs of business, basic business practices, right? But not only that, we also bring in guests and they come in and talk about specifics, like industry specific things. So we bring in an accountant, bring in an attorney, bringing in marketers, branders, folks that's in the communication field, just all kind of folks to create better networking. But we also have a mentoring program. So it's a year-long small business mentoring program. And we also do small dollar funding. So thanks to UMB Bank, this past year, we were in UMB Bank and some other funders as well, Network Kansas, LISC, and a few other funders as well. But we were able to give out about a little over $180,000 in small business grants to entrepreneurs
Wow.
in the urban core. So really excited about that, and we're actually doing it again this year. So we've started the process of it's called the Alchemy Sandbox program. So we started the process of doing that as well. JP Morgan Chase is another funder that really helped us out with that project. So those are the three specific ways that we help. There's all kind of other little things that we do as well, little events and speaker series things, and we do some youth entrepreneurship stuff. So yeah, just just having some fun, trying to help some people out.
Yeah, that's so awesome, man. Because I think so many people do have the entrepreneurial spirit, right? But maybe they don't know where to start, or it is so encompassing, going out and doing your own thing that you really have to pay attention to all those facets of business. And maybe some people
Yeah,
don't really know all those things or aren't really proficient with all those things. So that's great that you
yeah,
guys are offering, somewhere where it's, hey, come on in, check it out, right? We'll spin you up on all the little things that you need to do,
yeah.
and then send you out on your way with some funding,
Well,
which is great.
our goal, like when we first started this thing, was like to really demystify what entrepreneurship was. Try to get through the fears, the angst, the anxieties, all the things that come with trying to start a business, right? Or you have a lot of people. This is one of the funny things that we learned throughout this process. Um, Entrepreneurship is a lonely space. It's a lonely road, right? Just in general. So even more so working with entrepreneurs that look like me, come from the same backgrounds that I come from, even harder, right? And not just because of socioeconomic stuff, but also because when you start a business, people don't understand what that means. Like, what is entrepreneurship? Like, what are you doing? Like, and you have vision, you have goals, you have dreams, you have things you're trying to achieve, and a lot of people around you don't relate to that. They relate to a 9 to 5. They relate to structure. They relate to a fallback. Things like that. And entrepreneurship is you're jumping out on the ledge and you're every day trying to figure things out. And so that was a part of the reason why we did what we did as well, is to create like an avenue for folks to get with like-minded people, or not, maybe not like-minded, but similarly situated folks, where now you're not the only one in a crowd of 50 doing this one thing. Now you're surrounding yourself with people that can understand that stress, can understand that pressure, can understand the long nights, and not being understood and all that good stuff. So that's another part of this journey for us, is to create a common ground for folks that we support, and create a space for those folks to, like, get together. And we talk about failure a lot, and so we talk about failing together, right? Like an opportunity to fail together, because it makes it a little easier, a little more digestible, I'd say, than if you didn't have the support. So yeah.
Absolutely, man. I totally get. I'm a Marine myself, so I definitely understand kind of going through all the
Yeah,
bad times with your brothers, and that's I definitely understand that, right? Giving that support system to kind of lean on. Hey, you're not the only one going through this, right? Matter of fact, I did this, and here's what I did to get
absolutely.
out of it.
Yeah,
So that's a beautiful thing, man. How long have
yeah,
you guys been doing it?
yeah. We're at 7 years. We're
Wow.
at 7 years. We started, uh, this originally started. I mean, there's all kind of reasons why we started, right? But it was a direct answer to a problem that we identified, back when Google Fiber had came and was coming to Kansas City, and it was this huge hoopla about what this internet service will be able to do for entrepreneurship in the Midwest and Kansas City specifically. And there was these initiatives that the Kansas City, the Chamber of Commerce, the Civic Council, and all these folks, these organizations that are similar, got together and said, "Hey, we want to make Kansas City the most entrepreneurial city in the country," right? And there was this big hoopla about that. Well, not a lot of that conversation was being had over on the east side of the city where I come from, and I wanted to know why. And then after finding out why, I wanted to know, well, what can we do to figure out a way, like if something like this comes in the future, that the folks that are starting businesses or running businesses on the east side can take advantage of and be a part of as well. So that's kind of why we started this thing, and then it just kind of ballooned to what we're doing today. So things that we're really excited about, man. We've had a lot of good, dope supporters that helped push us. Erin Jenkins, she used to be with the Kauffman Foundation. She was one of our supporters. Ron and Coley with Chess Inc. Those guys are huge supporters of us. And without them, and Michael Cremona, Davin, all these people that supported us, and Shakia, that in the very beginning, I don't know if we're here 7 years later. So yeah,
Yeah, it takes the
I could
village,
keep
man,
talking,
for
Gino.
sure. No, hey, please do. No, it's so good, right? And it's good to give the recognition to those people that did help you out, along the way, and to stay and open and being able to help out all these other entrepreneurs. How many do you think? So 7 years. How many entrepreneurs do you think you've had come through the program?
A lot.
Good, good.
So we officially started tracking data 2 years ago,
Okay.
because we were working on Excel spreadsheets and all that other stuff. So we ended up using SourceLink. Casey SourceLink actually has a CRM platform too that they use, and we secured that a couple years ago, and we actually started to be able to track data better and more efficient. And so, like this year, we actually just put out our impact report. I believe we reported 159, maybe 160 entrepreneurs, more give or take a few,
Wow.
that we reported on this past year,
Wow.
through our services. So yeah, we've touched a lot of entrepreneurs directly and indirectly,
Sure.
just with different programmatic things. So yeah, we're really excited to keep pushing. We got a lot of stuff coming up in 2023 to really expand that even more. So yeah, we're geeked about it.
That's awesome, man. I'm excited to watch it, man. That's gonna be it's gonna be a good
Uh-oh.
year. It sounds like, for sure. So. Well, let's get into it here, Dan. So, in a couple of sentences, man, give me the elevator
Gino,
pitch.
my
Oh, can you hear me?
sorry, my
Are you
connection
good?
was so. I promise it says strong. It's a strong connection right now. I don't know what just happened. It just bleeped out.
Hey,
So
that's the beauty of live shows sometimes, man. Is it just it does its thing
absolutely,
sometimes. But yeah, let's get into it. So
for
in a
sure.
couple of sentences, so not the porterhouse, right? But who is Dan Smith?
Hmm.
Give us the elevator pitch about you.
Oh man, I'm a connector. I'm a father. I'm a husband. Father of two boys, two high schoolers that I'm so proud of. I got a senior. I'm a husband to a wonderful wife, and she's a really dope educator. She's a principal at an elementary school. Really excited about the work that she does. I'm a connector at heart. I like people. I'm an introvert. This is funny, right? This is a little thing. I'm an introvert, but like the people that I connect with, that I that share a bond with, we go hard for each other. So I am that's the type of person I am. I like basketball. We play basketball every Friday morning. Just shout out to Mitch. We play
Okay, you got there
basketball
with
at
Mitch. Okay, the Hy-Vee
Hy-Vee
Arena.
Arena. Yep, yep. We
Yep,
play every Friday. So
love
really
it.
excited about that. Shout out to Mitch. Shout out to Miranda, my team, Jonna, Sharon, my co-founder too. Like I said, none of the work that we do is possible without these people. So, but I don't have an elevator pitch per se. I just, I'm a connector, man. I like to connect, and I'm a dreamer. I love to dream and really see things through. So, I don't know.
I love it. I love it. You've got
I know
one. You
you,
just didn't know you had it.
as a business owner, you're supposed to have an elevator pitch. That's what we teach everybody else. But I'm like, man, we just do it. Like whatever it is, we just do it. Sorry, I'm,
You
I'm
know,
moving
it's
around because I got wheels on my
oh, you're
chair.
good. I'm
So
the same way, man. I'm an active dude
yeah,
for sure. Yeah, and it's so funny too. You brought up the introvert thing because I kind of identify like that as well. But I'm outgoing, so it's kind of interesting. I kind of get that from you as well. But
yeah,
um,
yeah.
yeah,
I
no, that's
crash
awesome, man.
afterwards. It's a major crash
Yeah,
afterwards.
you got to recover, man,
That's
for
it.
sure.
Call of Duty. That's what I
For
got.
sure. There you
I'm
go.
on Call of Duty.
Hey, let's go. Let's get after it. Well, we got to exchange gamer tags. We'll get it, man.
There you go. There you go.
All right, so tell us about your social media journey. So both with you and then also with the Porterhouse. How's that helped you guys out?
Man, social media is, the funny thing is Erin Hayden, she's with Lillian James Creative. Well, let me go back before that. I haven't heavily been into social media until really pushing the Porterhouse KC. I mean, before that, I was just kind of, you just just like everybody else, scrolling and looking and watching and posting every now and again. But what I recognize is that, and I realize is that you have to lean in. Like once you find a goal, there's something that you're trying to achieve. You got to lean in, and even though I felt like I wasn't that guy, that doesn't matter, right? Because it's not about you; it's about the greater good. And so I post like my Instagram, like every morning I post a good morning pic, where we are, what office we're like right now. I'm in Blip Roasters down in the West Bottoms. And so I'll post a pic of Blip or the office or whatever space that we're in, just to let people into our world a little bit. Now, I'll post pics of where we are throughout the day and just follow the journey. But a part of that is just literally because you have to stay present, right? And I want to be as transparent as possible because I want people to see that their dreams are possible. Whatever it is that they're trying to accomplish is possible. And you see a guy like me coming from 33rd and Jackson, and been through the stuff that I've been through, and been able to like do some of the things that we've been able to do as a team is just a phenomenal thing. And I think that sharing that stuff really helps empower others to really strive for their dreams. You know what I mean? I actually, so fast forward to the Aaron. So LinkedIn, I had a hate relationship with LinkedIn. I like because I feel like I'm a non-professional. Like I was in corporate America for a little bit and all this other stuff, but I've never fit in, right? Like I've never been that guy. So when I think about LinkedIn, I just automatically, my assumption goes to those type of people. Like I don't relate. I'm good, right? I don't need to be on there. And Aaron's like, She's like, dude, like you're thinking of it all wrong. Like you're gonna have to get over it. You got to figure your life out because that's not what it's about, right? Then she told me, she told me, I think this was like 3 or 4 years ago. She's made, multi millions off of connections that she's made on LinkedIn, and I was like, oh my gosh, all right. Well, I'll at least post a little bit, so I get a little more active on LinkedIn. So we share our stories and things like that, and updates that we have on LinkedIn. So I'm not. It's not a hate relationship now. It's more like a meh. It's a meh relationship with it. So it's not horrible, but Instagram is my favorite. I post on Facebook and LinkedIn and Twitter too, just because Aaron told me I had to. That's the only reason why I do it. It's the only reason why I do it.
Has that benefited you at all? Kind of getting it more out there.
Yeah.
How's that helped you out?
Yeah. I mean, social currency is everything now. You know what I mean? Like, uh, more businesses invest more in social platforms than they do any other media medium uh, now, right? And 10 years ago, Gary Vee was telling everybody, 15 years ago, Gary Vee was telling everybody, hey man, 80% of your budget should go to social media. And everybody's like, all these businesses are like, nah, it's not. And the businesses that listened, that did it, got a heads up. You know what I mean? They got a leg up on the competition because, they listened, they understood the market, and they understood where social media was going. And so, yeah, I'd be a fool to say that we didn't benefit from social media, because we have. And it just makes sense. It's more cost effective for smaller businesses to purchase an ad. It's a lot more accessible, right? You don't have to go through major platforms to do ad buys and all that stuff. It's you can literally set your own account up and do all your things individually. So it just makes sense, right? Like, try to be as resourceful as possible, and doing that helped really push us through that business side, and really push the social platforms as it relates to connections and all that good stuff. Yeah.
I love that, man. And I love that you bring up Gary Vee too. We're big Gary Vee fans over here at
Okay.
J29 for sure. So we
Okay.
we, we pay
Awesome.
attention to, and one of the things that I love, and you're really living it, right, is that he doesn't get married to the platform, right? It's not this platform or
You
that
can't.
platform. I mean, it's put out all the content everywhere, right? And be
Hundred
you
percent.
and be real, and the people
Yep.
that you want to work with will find you, right? It's a beautiful thing, man. It's a beautiful
And it
thing.
makes everything more authentic. Like, I posted a thing today, this morning, on my IG that just said something about authenticity versus transactional, right? Everybody's like, you have a lot of relationships that are very transactional, which those relationships, they might last for whatever that transaction is. But those authentic relationships that go beyond a transaction are the ones that actually help a business flourish, a person flourish, and anything, right? And so, like, it's important to be authentic and be yourself, right? And it's even that much more important to try to pull out this transactional approach, because trans- transactions only get you so far. You know what I mean? Being an authentic person, being who you are, attracting your audience, whoever your audience is. I mean, that's what matters. You know what I mean? Don't try to force. Don't we worry about our the negatives more than we do double down on our positives, right? Like, don't force trying to go after the people that are not even in your audience, right? Like, double down on the people that love you, and there might be only 2 or 3 of them, but double down on those 2 or 3, and they'll be fans, super fans. You know what I mean? And those people will preach the gospel about you. You know what I'm saying? So,
Absolutely.
yeah,
Yep, and they're on social media too, and it can be free, right? You kind of brought up the ads, right? But the
yeah,
beautiful thing about it is if you're building that organic following and you're authentic and people are finding you for that, you
yeah.
really don't even have to spend a dime on it, right? It doesn't have to be a
No,
fancy video. It doesn't have to be a professional picture, right? It could be the
none of
selfie
it.
at the coffee shop, whatever it is, just to let people know, hey, yeah, exactly,
Cell
right?
phone.
Right on the cell
Yep.
phone, right? That just to let people know where you're at, what you're doing, right? Give them a little glimpse into the life because that's what people connect with.
Yeah.
That's so good, dude.
Yeah.
That's so good.
Absolutely. Yeah, man.
Now, Dan, every superhero, so obviously this show is called Zero to Hero, right? So it's a little
Uh
bit of a
oh.
superhero vibe. So every
Uh
superhero has a defining moment, what do you think yours is when it comes to your life and your career?
Shoot, that's a really good question. Um, that's a really good question. So I have it. I know what it is. I got it, and I talk about it all the time. But it's tough, right? It's tough to talk about. I went from a point of trying to, and this is kind of where I am today, and how I got to where I am today. The first part, early parts of my career, and after school and getting family and all that stuff was about trying to fit in, right? In corporate America, trying to fit in, trying to do the right things, right? Being the top performer, and all the things that you aspire to do in a corporate environment, just to get the carrot dangled, right? Just to get, not yet. You're almost there, but not yet. And then you see your peers around you all like excelling and growing and doing all these things, and you just wonder like, what are you missing? You know what I mean? There's always this missing point, right? So I try to do the corporate challenges and the sports, and trying to do the poker games with the folks and the schmoozing and all the things that you try to do. And again, mind you, Gino, I'm an introvert. So all of this stuff is like,
Exhausting.
it is very exhausting, and very well beyond my comfort zone, which I was okay to kind of expand out to. But at the end of the day, I was chasing something that wasn't. It just wasn't for me at the time, I guess. You know what I mean? And so I got to a point in my maturity and growing. I had to realize, I had to really assess who I was, figure out who I am, and can I be okay being who I am everywhere, not just at home, not just in with my friends, not just with family, but everywhere. And I got to that. I got to a point where I realized that I'm not going to grow trying to be this other person, this fake person, whoever this person was. And it's literally probably 9 years, 10 years ago, I had this epiphany that I just need to start leaning into being who I am. And like I said, man, I'm a guy from 33rd Street, man. Went to public school. Um, I'm just like the folks that I grew up with. You know what I mean? I love hip hop. Hip hop is it for me. I'm very singular in that. I've had some folks tell me I need to expand my horizons and boundaries, but you like what you like. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
I talk the way I talk. I don't change it. I just, like I said, man. I want others that come from the spaces that I come from to look at me and be like, bro, I could do it. I could be that. I could do the same things, and I don't have to put on a suit and tie for others to recognize our powers and our abilities. You know what I'm saying? And when we started this thing, that's exactly what we do. You see me, Gino. Like I've had the opportunity, and I've been blessed to speak in front of crowds. The last large one I spoke at was the Civic Council, and it was 700 CEOs and presidents of businesses and whatnot. And I got the opportunity to speak in front of those folks. And guess what I was wearing? I was wearing a hoodie and some jeans,
I love
and
it.
my Jordans. You know what I mean? Um, there was once a time where I would have felt like I got to put a suit and tie on. I got to make sure that and now if what I wear determines our relationship, then it wasn't to be. And that's kind of where I am with it. So, like I said, about 10 years ago, I just kind of start leaning into who to me, and that's it is what it is. You know what I mean? You see what you get. This is how I am everywhere. Basketball practice, basketball games, hooping sessions on Fridays. Here at Blip, like I'm the same. Right? I got a hoodie on, I got my Scully on, and I got my Birkenstocks today. But normally I got some Jordans on. But you know, it is what it is. I'm a sneakerhead, so I got issues. But it's okay. It's okay.
Do you have like the whole wall? Do you have them like like the display, or you?
I got issues, man. I'm telling you. I got the wall. I got I got shoes on the floor and boxes and all kind of silliness. It doesn't make
I
sense.
love it.
It doesn't.
I love
That is my problem. That is my addiction. That's my issue. My wife is like, dude, we got to figure this out. I get
it.
it. I get it. But I accept it. I understand it.
You gotta have the thing, yeah. I mean, you've got to have
It's
that release, right? Whether it's
it's my
Call of
thing.
Duty or sneakers or whatever it is,
That's
right?
it.
And you
That's
got to
all I
keep it
got.
real too, right? I mean,
Yeah.
that's if you're not doing that, man. I mean, what's the point, right? Like you're just gonna live to somebody else's dream, you
I
know.
mean, you can, and some people, honestly, Gino, it works for some people. It just didn't work for me. You know what I mean? Like
I hear
it
you.
works for
I
some.
think the happiness gets affected though. You know what I mean? Like yeah, it works, right? People
Not-
are successful,
Yeah,
right? Being that chameleon
yeah,
and kind of
yeah,
conforming to the
yeah,
system, but are they happy doing it? I
yeah.
don't I can't answer the question, right? Because I'm
I
kind of
know.
similar to you. I got
Yeah,
done with the corporate stuff and realized like, hey, I'm over here working, and I'm not getting anywhere. I don't
yeah,
think I want to do this anymore, and I up and quit.
yeah, man.
That was last
Yeah,
summer, actually, before I came to
yeah,
J29. I'm blessed to be here with people that get that, right? Hey, be
yeah,
yourself. They don't mind the beard, right? I mean, fellow
yeah.
fellow bearded
Dude,
professional over here, they don't mind
dude.
it. They're like, do you,
I
be
was doing the
you.
shaving. I had the clean
Yeah.
shave. I did all that, man. I'm like, nah, that's not me, man. I need facial hair, man. I'm
Right.
already losing it up here. I got to compensate somewhere. You know what I'm saying? Or losing it. I lost it up here.
Oh man. Oh, I feel you.
So,
Yeah, and
you
it gets
know,
cold in the winter time, man. I want to keep my chin
it
warm.
does. It does, man. Got to keep the face warm, man.
Oh, no lie, no doubt.
But yeah, man. It's just it's for some people, it works. I just I started to lean into like you was talking about Gary V. Is a person that I start kind of watching. Casey Neistat is a social media guy that I started to watch and seeing his influence. And Will Smith started to go on his this is before the slap, obviously,
Yeah.
his social media thing on YouTube. And there was one thing that stood out to me, man. He had a fear. He had fears, and what he was trying to do is go through and like get through each of these fears by diving straight into them, right? So like he has a fear of heights, so he decided to jump out of a plane. He has a fear of the ocean, so he decided he needed to swim with sharks. He has a fear. I mean, all these different things that he tried to do, and obviously now we look at it, and it was probably because he was having some kind of midlife thing going on. But the what I pulled out of it, he used this quote of God placing the most beautiful things on the other side of fear. And after I heard that, man, I was just like, dude, I was telling everybody that. And they were like, where you get that from? I was like, hey, you got to Google Will Smith, look this YouTube. It wasn't me. But it's a beautiful thing, man. And it's so true, man. It's like we've been through so many like things that are scary, that would normally be scary. I used to have a major fear of public speaking. Um, but because I got over that fear and fought through it, and you never get over it. You still always have it, but it's just not being debilitated by it, right? And so once I got through it, dude, like I got an opportunity to speak. Man, I'm got an opportunity to speak to you, Gino. You know what I mean? Because of that. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
I think that there's so many benefits to leaning into fear and getting through fear that it just for me like the fear of we talk about assimilation, the fear of not assimilating. Like, where would I be? Who's going to respect me? Who's going to listen to me? You just can't be debilitated by it, man. Get through it. Figure it out. Whatever it is, we just got to figure it out.
Yeah, whatever's gonna happen is gonna happen, man.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
control what you
man.
can control, and that's it. It's
At
my wife.
least you tried.
That's it.
You
That's it.
know.
Yeah, my wife is in a position where she is frequently speaking in front of people. So it's
Yeah.
something that we talk about a lot. And it's one of the things that I heard a while back that really helped me with that is that kind of that growth mindset, right?
Hmm.
So instead of nervous, it's excitement, right? And
Hmm.
using it in that way of,
Yeah.
yeah, you want to perform well, right? That's why we
Yeah.
get nervous or excited or whatever the emotions that we're feeling. You want to go
Absolutely.
up, and do your thing and knock it out, right? But if you can harness that as excitement versus nervousness, it's a whole lot easier to stand up
You
there, right?
you know what I sucked at? Like I suck at like reading something, right? Like if I
Mm.
put a script together and I have to like read a script, I'll be sweating beads because I want to make sure that I get the right things. And then I said, you know what? Let me just try to freestyle. Like this is things that I do, I know. So let me just talk, right? And I find that that is a lot easier for me. My wife is like, oh, she's a polar opposite. She's like, you have to script it out. I was like, no, I don't. I don't want to be up here sweaty and people seeing your lip quiver and all that extra stuff going on. I was like, no, I don't need that. Let me just go up here and freestyle and hope I say some right things. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
I love
yeah,
it. I
yeah,
love it. Get out there and wing it, man. Just do it, especially when you know
absolutely.
about it, right? There's no
Yeah,
point
that's
being
it.
nervous about it.
We know about all this stuff, so why not?
Yeah, and I tell you what, so that you've kind of led into the next question on a few different accounts with different things that
Okay.
you've said. So I want to get to this one because I think you've brought up quite a few things already. But every superhero, there's attributes to that superhero, right? What do you think are
Yeah,
the attributes that truly define what a hero is?
man, that's another good question. Um, Authenticity is one. Um, I'm not going to say fearlessness, but the ability to not be debilitated by fear,
Courage.
right? I feel like Superman had to have courage to do the things that he had to do, even though kryptonite, he knew kryptonite would kill him. You know what I mean? But you can't stop, right? You still have a goal. You still have something that you're trying to accomplish and achieve. So I got to get through it. I got to get through. I got to figure this out some way somehow. So yeah, courage. Um, to me, being transformational, being adaptable, like you can adapt to situations, and then not taking yourself so serious. Like we got some serious people out here, and I'm like, bro, relax. You know what I mean? Like it's life. Life is gonna life. So you can't control it, right? So why not attack it with a positive vigor and just live it. You know what I'm saying? Um, yeah, those are my things, man. That's what I got.
I love that last one, man. That's a hard lesson too. Speaking from
It's
experience, that's a hard one to
tough.
learn is not to take it too serious, man. I mean, it's just life. We're none of us making it out. Just have fun with it. That's so good.
Like like really, like what are we gonna do? Like you could be mad, you could be frustrated, you can be staunch and really straight. Yeah. Hey man, I got up this morning, I put on some music. My kids wake them up at 5:30 in the morning. We're up we're dancing. I got music on. My puppy's out. It's crazy, it's hectic, but that's the way we start the day. You know what I mean? Like, why not?
With
Yeah, we
energy.
got tests today. Yes, we got things we got to do today, but that doesn't take away the fact that you can attack the day with excitement and vigor and fun. And sometimes I get on my wife's nerves with my fun, but it is what it is. This is part of life.
Don't
That's
we
who I
all?
am.
Don't
So
we all?
yeah, so
Oh, that's funny. All right, Dan. Last question for you, man. If you
sure.
had to pick a superhero that relates best to you, who would that be and why?
So this might sound strange. So so Gino, you got to give me a little leniency. Give me some leniency. I have to pick a couple of
Okay. Okay.
superheroes. Okay, and there's reasons, right? So one, Black Panther, it's my guy. That character is just legit. Uh, um, the movie was so moving that I just felt like I was him and he was me, and that. So that's it, Black Panther. But Superman, and the reason why I say Superman, it's going to be weird. None of these superheroes are like, I'm not going to give you like really in depth philosophical reasons why these guys are the superheroes that I want to be and that I would be. But I'm gonna give you. It's weird. So the story is when my sons were young. They were in like elementary school, like second, third grade. I came in one day, so I had a Superman T-shirt under I had a shirt and tie on from work. I had my Superman T-shirt. That was just my undershirt for the day. It was I didn't have a white one, whatever. So I had a Superman T-shirt. So I was taking off my button-down shirt. My son came out of his bedroom, and I was pulling open my shirt
Oh man.
to take it off, and I had the Superman, and my youngest son stood there and was amazed. He was like, "You are Superman!" Like really, like blew him away. Thought I was Superman. It was the funniest thing.
That's
And my
so
wife
awesome.
was there, and she watched the whole situation happen. And I was like doing this thing and had this S, and my son was just sitting there like what? Like amazed. So that's the only reason why I say Superman. It's literally got a
I love
story,
it.
and it was just hilarious. And yeah, he knows I'm not Superman, but it was
For a
dope
second
for the
though.
moment.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was dope for the moment. So that's the only reason. The
That's
only
so
reason.
funny. That's awesome, man. I love
Yeah,
that story. Yeah, it's so the mind of kids. I've got a 5 and a 2-year-old myself, and it's just so like
I
so
love it.
amazing how everything could be so simple, right? And it's like dawns on them like, "Oh man, dad is Superman." That's so funny, man.
Man, the coolest thing. I was like, yeah. So then I got these Superman like little things up and poster. I have to
You gotta
because it
lean into
reminds
it.
me of that
Yeah.
moment.
You
Yeah,
gotta lean
yeah.
into
So
it. That's so
yeah,
funny.
for sure. For
Well,
sure.
Dan, thanks for coming on the show, man. How can people keep up with you? How can they keep up with you and the Porterhouse KC? How can
Yeah.
they get involved?
Yeah. So the Porterhouse KC is on all platforms. It's just at the Porterhouse KC. We have a website, theporterhousekc.com. My social platform, my IG is imd.c.smith. That's my Instagram. The Facebook is just Dan Smith. You can look it up. I think LinkedIn is Dan Smith or Dan Smith MBA. Yeah, I mean, we're out there. You can Google us. It's okay. It's cool. That's not a flex. I'm literally just saying you can Google the Porterhouse
Hey,
KC
Google
and
it.
you can find
Google
it.
it. You'll
Yeah,
find
yeah,
them.
yeah. It's out there
Man. Well, Dan, thank you again, man. Awesome episode. I think we could talk all day, but we'll go ahead and let the people get back to what
for
they got
sure.
to do and get back to what we got
For
to
sure.
do. But yeah, thank
For
you,
sure.
man. Thank you.
Hey, thanks for having me on, Gino. I appreciate it, man.
All right, guys, take it easy.